And then I remember when this really bad rapper approached us about joining Figureless. He thought it was called Figureless because we don't make any money. Yeah. I kind of brushed it off though. He was a total. He was yeah. He's like, you Figureless because you ain't making figures like I do. It's like, okay, bro. You rap about making figures. You're like 14 years old.
He's cashing in all his swag checks now, though. I bet. Hello and welcome to Spotlight for Figureless, and I'm joined today by the lovely None Like Joshua, Adrian Camacho and Veela. And we're just going to be talking to you guys about Figureless, what you're doing, what you're planning on doing with it, and finding a bit about what kinds of things you like with vocals and what people can expect from Figureless if they're interested. So let's kick off with the basics. Josh, how did you guys all meet? How did this come together?
Well, basically, I had the idea that it would be nice for there to be like a group of vocalists that we could, refer to and work with other producers, because I was at a loss whenever like a producer would approach me with a certain track that I knew my voice could not fit well with, but I didn't really know anybody else to say, oh, you should work with this vocalist instead. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, why don't we just kind of build it all together, group it all, so that every vocalist can kind of just help each other out in that sense whenever that kind of problem arises, instead of leaving that producer to hang out to dry.
Yeah.
So that way everyone still gets to make some kind of art, and everyone gets what they want. So I approached Veela about that. She is also a vocalist, as to what we should do with it, how it should be run, what kind of vocalists we want to look for, and then from there we pretty much just did the best we could, and we wanted to make kind of a graphic style website. We talked to different vocalists who were interested in it and wanted to be part of it, and we made sure that they were unique in their own style, unique from what a kind of lame vocalist would be. We were looking for people who had very in-depth lyricism, could sing well on their own without having to rely on too much auto-tune.
Okay.
And people that just had like a personality, who were active, who were just wanted to be like a really cool vocalist and work with electronic music or any kind of genre. And then Adrian here came into the picture because he loved the idea. He was loving everything we were doing with it, and it seemed like he was the best fit to help manage it. So we pretty much gave him the reins, and from there, Veela and I just helped, with managing the website, kind of quality control. And Veela, I would say, is the one that, is all. She is like the most adept at knowing what looks good and who is good. Whereas, Adrian and I sometimes get out of hand. We're like, we want to, take over the world, but it's like we know that if we add too many people or get to too many places, that the quality goes down.
Yeah. You don't want to dilute your product.
Exactly, and we don't want to add people who suck.
And why the name Figureless? Where did that come from?
I was going through. I remember we were going through so many different names, and we just liked the idea of Ghost.
Okay.
For some reason, we really liked Ghost, but we didn't want to include the word. We couldn't find something catchy that sounded like Ghost. So I was just looking at words that kind of had to do with it, because it was almost like the way a vocalist works with a track. We considered it almost in a ghost-like nature. It's like you can feel the presence, and it's very ominous, but it's not like the most
sinister.
Common, feature, but it's there, and you know it's there, and you feel it. That's what it's all about. It's all about the feeling that vocalists are supposed to give. I'm totally making this shit up.
So Adrian, for people who aren't familiar with Figureless, how would you describe it? How would you summarise what you do?
We're a community. Basically what we do, we're kind of like a showcase where we have profiles for every vocalist, and it basically shows what genres they work well with and like what producers they work with, and also their links and channels and stuff like that.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't laughing at what you're saying, I was just enjoying the slow shuffle towards your face. So what are the criteria for a vocalist if they want to join Figureless?
Veela.
Yeah, Veela. Go.
Let me tell you, it's for me personally, it's way more about the kind of person they are than how good they are, because there's so many great singers in the world that it takes a certain kind of singer to rise to the top and make their way out of everybody who wants to do it. So it's about finding those kinds of people who have the potential to not only be great singers, but also let their personality shine through, let their ideas shine through, and they really want to they have to be good at working in a community. A lot of people just don't quite fit with that, and that they're constantly creating content, that they're cool with having visuals, pictures, they're good at that. Doesn't matter how big or small their fan base is, because that's part of our job, is helping them gain more fans. And,
Yeah.
all of that. So
And working with them as well musically. Like, most of the time, like, when I want to work with a vocalist, I go straight to Figureless.
Yeah.
Whenever
yeah, so just the kind of person in a nutshell is just what I'm looking for, is that just good people who love their craft.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at first we wanted to, we were looking for people to kind of, to join up, just to let them know about it.
Yeah.
But it's like now we're kind of just, we kind of want to see who actually wants to join. Like, we'd rather add people who want to be a part of the community rather than,
Chasing
enticing.
people.
We don't have any more space to seek people out.
Exactly. So it's like when we find someone who actually wants to be a part of it and, sees how many producers are going to this thing daily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah! I mean, it is like the go-to platform for pretty much all the producers I talk to on Facebook. It's just like, you need vocals, you go to Figureless, you don't even think about it.
Exactly. I mean, because I feel like people aren't looking for, pop anymore. It's like they know how contrived and artificial it's like finding a pop singer is, and it's super easy. So it's like, if you want your track to stand out, if you want some kind of story or lyricism that just it scars the mind. Well, not scar, but makes a good impression in a way. Makes a better impression.
It got very heavy very quickly.
And if you want somebody to scar your mind,
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come to you, okay.
Yeah, I would say that's what I think. That's what Figureless is for. It's like that's why we don't like to add pop vocalists that just want to do what the radio does. It's like, you don't need us for that. You don't need Figureless to do pop vocals. You can do that well on your own, just fine.
Yeah.
You're here to help the people who write stories and write very unique experiences and have that unique sense of lyricism.
but I love Justin Bieber.
Yeah, we still, we'll rock some Beyonce every now and then.
Hey,
We're working to Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
Hey, we were
we've
just
been
listening to
walking-
Lizzie McGuire.
Hillary Duff.
Hillary Duff, man.
Not here to judge. Not here to judge. So what advice would you give to vocalists that are just starting out now, that have just bought their mic, have 2 likes on their fan page, and are just starting to get into songwriting? What would your advice be to them?
Well, a lot of our vocalists are still at that point where they're still getting their good mics and they're seeking guidance. They're trying to figure out what styles they like and that kind of thing. I think it's really important to how you want to go about it. There's a couple of different avenues to gaining more fan base and everything. There's the pop song cover way where you do all the stuff that everybody else on YouTube's doing that you get a lot of views for. There's kind of just working your way from the bottom to the top.
From the bottom, now we can.
Yeah. And,
You know, that was going through my head, but I'm glad you did it.
I'm a rapper.
and yeah, so, but the most important thing is to keep making stuff. Don't ever stop, just keep going. It's gonna be really hard at first. You don't have any clout to tell people what you want. Oftentimes the vocalists that start off, especially, you know, with us, because we hear about it so often, is that they get really frustrated with producers because they won't listen to them. And there's going to be a lot of that when you first start out, because, you know, they don't. Producers have producer bias, we call it, where they want to have their track shine through. Where when you have a vocalist on a track, it's really important to showcase them as best as you can. And, you know, a lot of them don't understand that. So it's frustrating for a vocalist when you have an idea and it doesn't come out the way you want.
Yeah.
So just, you have to keep going, and then you'll get to that point.
You have to be assertive.
And like 9 times out of 10, if the vocalist says they can't hear themselves on the track, it's probably true. Like it's not like a messed up headphone thing. It's like the listener, no matter what it is, if there are vocals, the listener, whether they're a producer, whether they're a vocalist, is listening for the vocals. The average listener wants to hear what they're talking about, because that's just like a human evolution itself. They have our hearing range is meant to be able to emphasize the vocal range of other humans, so that, you know, we can communicate with each other. So if you can't hear it, it's actually painful. It's painful to not be able to hear what they're saying or understand it.
Okay.
No, it's true. It's true. Because we rely on groups to be able to survive and communicate. So if we can't hear it, it's just like, oh, fuck this. Like, that's literally what the attitude is. So I would say that, you know, vocalists have a perspective on that. It's not biased on it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it too, like, all the big songs, like, even the big classics, I mean, every song in general that has vocals. What's the first thing you remember when you listen to a song? Definitely the lyrics, am I right?
I'll fight for you.
Exactly.
Even though she's not even in the title name.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers that part of the song. That's how you differentiate.
Yeah, a vocal hook can make or break a track, definitely.
Exactly. When it makes it, it's made it.
Yeah. So, what advice, I mean, I guess we've kind of just covered it, for advice you would give to producers looking to work with figureless vocalists, so to listen to them and not steamroll.
Yes. Definitely know the mixed vocals. I mean, if you want to work with the vocalist just because you need practice working with vocals, I highly recommend working with samples.
Okay.
I mean, because it's not fair to a vocalist how they put 100% into a track and they turn out something that they don't like.
Yeah.
So I definitely think, and also communication is a big thing too. One thing that a lot of producers do that bothers me is something, for instance, like a producer would release a track but then the vocalist know and it's not even finished, or
I think those are often the producers themselves. The communication thing is not just producers. Like, vocalists can go off and do stuff themselves without keeping the producers updated as well, and it just comes down to people need to be better at communicating.
I agree. I mean, we've had cases even with ourselves as Veela and I as musicians vocalists where they, you know, release a track without saying anything. We emailed them and they don't email us back. But like, you know, we keep those producers in mind and we talk about them to other vocalists.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, you don't want to make, and the other vocalists let us know too. Like, it does not matter. It will stem across the page. If you're a shit producer, not because you suck at producing, but you're just an asshole, like, we let the other ones know. So it's
so when they next come back, they're going to struggle.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, that applies for anything too. I mean, if you can be as talented as you want, but if you treat other people badly, or you don't show up, or you don't follow through with what you say, nobody wants to work with you.
Exactly.
Respect is a big thing.
Definitely.
And as far as the collaboration, I mean, it's collaboration. You're working with someone else. Like, you know, it's a two-team project.
It's like everyone should be happy
Exactly.
with the
Yeah.
final product.
You
And
can't just treat them like an extra.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hey, can I get an amen?
Amen.
And besides that, if everyone is happy with the product, then they're more likely to promote it. If you think about that, so it's like you want to make it to where everyone enjoys it in the party, so that they'll be more adamant in pushing it to their crowd, pushing it to their fan base. Because sometimes we get tracks and the producer just fucks it up across the board, and we tell them like, you know, we don't like this, we don't want to do that, but they release it anyway. So it's like, well, I'm not gonna promote it. Like
Yeah.
that's just it. Like, you know, if you're not gonna listen to what I have to say, and you want to for some reason pan the vocals out both left and right stereo instead of mono, which is like the norm, and like you think that's right to do, then you're just an idiot. So we're not gonna promote idiocy.
Well said.
Well said.
So do you have any ideal vocalists, any favourites in the EDM scene?
Ooh.
I have plenty.
Yeah, I'm gonna put myself out there and say
Like
Amber
Fox?
Shepherd might be one of them.
I personally listen to a lot of vocal music. It's pretty much all I listen to. So my taste is everywhere. Like I really like Amber Shepherd. She's my top favorite female.
That awkward moment.
On the pedestal.
Yes,
On the
in
pedestal.
mainstream media. Fiora has been a recent favorite. I really like her as well.
Yeah.
As far as male vocalists, I love Richard Bradford and Matthew Koma. These
Yeah.
are both very different sounding vocalists.
And they have good lyrics. Like,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as far as mainstream EDM, I really just like how some vocalists just sing about love all the time. It's kind of
Yeah.
corny.
aim.
Yeah.
And I mean, Matthew Comer especially he just has an incredible talent for writing the vocal lines to songs. Like they're always very addictive and memorable.
Yeah, as far as Amber Shepherd, her harmonies are amazing. I pick them out all the time to listen to her tracks.
What about you, Veela? Favorite vocalist?
And you're not allowed to say Lil Jon.
Yeah, that would be shooting ourselves in the foot.
Please.
So who would be the ideal mainstream vocalist at Figureless? That would work well with that.
I don't know. I mean, I've always loved Nessie, who worked with Morgan Page.
You mean Lissy?
Or Nessie. Yeah, Lissy. Lissy worked with Morgan Page.
A Loch Ness monster.
Yeah. And she has the most weird tone, but it works so well with that kind of style. And she likes writing about Western things. I don't know why, but I like it. And so, yeah, I always looked up to her for sure.
And Josh?
Names rappers. Alright, rapper wise. I mean, I have always loved the indie rappers, but not many of them work with electronic music. Buck 65 kind of does. I would say I do like Foreign Beggars because they do have a very unique tone, but
And they work so well together as well, the two.
Oh yeah, totally. Very unique tone to them, but it's like I wish they would just rap more about them being rappers. It's like, you know, that's pretty much every song is about how they rap about being rappers and how awesome it is to be a rapper.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we know you're rappers.
I think that's why I liked Shell Shock so much, because the lyrics
Oh, yeah.
were just so perfectly fitting for the drop and everything.
I agree. Shell Shock was like one of their most unique songs, and I really like the lyricism.
So, just to give the producers watching this an idea, how many messages would you say you get, like requests per day?
Honestly, I get about 20.
Okay.
I haven't been checking my messages since I've been with these two, so I'm kind of scared.
You're going to have a lot to catch up on.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we have the menu and we have the contact information for each vocalist, but it's like most of them come there and just don't know. They don't want to take the time to actually check out each vocalist. They'd rather just.
Which I don't understand. Like, if you want the vocals for your track, surely you want to go through and find the one that you think is going to be the best for your track. Like,
right, but it's like some of them just don't want to take the time to do that, or they just they just are just lazy about it. And then I guess Adrian's here to pick up that kind of slack. But it's
Would you say it puts you off when you get a message because you know that they have been a bit lazy and you know that they're not maybe quite as interested into it as you'd like them to be?
Well, we also don't know if it's that they just really don't know how it works. Some of them
Right,
don't
yeah.
know how it works.
Yeah. Which I tell them, like, when they do message me, part that just bothers me is I don't know them. And they're like, most people that message me are just like, oh, like, I have like this cool track and vocals over, you need to help me. It's like, hi.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Adrian, by the way.
Yeah. But normally when that happens, I just refer them to the site. It bothers me.
I would say that, yeah, it helps to kind of introduce yourself and not just be an ass right off the bat.
Yeah, definitely.
Adrian's more likely to help people that actually are helpful or people that are asked.
Yeah, like no one wants to feel used, do they? They don't want to feel like you're
So-
just talking when it's convenient. What Figureless collaborations have really stood out for you guys so far?
My recent favorites, just because of such influence, I love Charlotte Taining. I love her new track with Ramsey B. Mostly because Paul McCartney wrote the track with her. So I thought that was really, really cool.
What?
Yeah. How do you not know this?
What?
Yeah.
Do you like live in your town, man?
I think she won a contest with her school, and she got to work with him. Her and a group of 10 other people. But
Wow.
it's on his new EP he just released. I forget the name, but it's a glitch hop tune. It's really, really good. And as far as I know, Paul McCartney loved it. He helped her with the lyrics. So,
Paul McCartney likes glitch hop.
I'd love that if he just came back and did a glitch hop album.
And he rapped over it.
Brilliant. But what about you, Veela and Josh? Are there any collaborations that you personally have done that have particularly stuck with you as favourites?
Besides our own,
Or no, including your own.
Veela?
It's alright, you don't have to say never fall far. I'll let that one go now.
Yeah, I really enjoy it whenever I get to work with another vocalist, because it's like, I just know those do way better than just like, you know, me rapping on my own. It's like, I like adding a new element, a new message, a new vocalist to the song. I've got an epic collab coming out with Ravit.
oh my god, that's my favorite.
She's
I
been
dropped
quiet
that.
for a while actually. That'll be pretty big.
She's been working on her own stuff and doing a lot of touring, and I somehow was able to get a hold of her. But we're working on a track with Canamix.
Oh
and
wow, okay.
It's pretty epic.
Her vocals
It's-
are amazing.
Yeah, it's an anthem. Like, I got it last night with my set, and like, people really, really enjoy it. So I'm really excited for that one.
Have we got an estimated release for that?
We're waiting on the album artwork, and that's really it. So probably next couple weeks for sure.
Awesome.
And then, yeah.
I think my favorite thing that's kind of birthed out of Figureless is all of the Holly Drummond song
Oh yeah.
with who was it? The Ramses?
Yeah,
Who did
Dreaming.
who remixed it?
Yeah, Dreaming. Well,
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever that song
it was
was,
a-
it's like one of my favorites.
It was an acoustic track
Yeah,
that she originally
that's right.
did.
And
Yeah,
he took the vocal and made it a little song.
yeah, that was a really big tune.
But I'm like a Holly Drummond fan to my grave, so yeah.
I'm a big Holly Drummond fan too. She's awesome. I also think I did that trip hop track with her, and it was like she was really cool with that whole collaboration all the way through. I say she's definitely one of the like coolest vocalists to work with, and she's really versatile, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's been DTF for anything.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean down to work, DTW for anything.
we drew the line. And
I'm sorry.
crossed it.
Sorry. I meant like she's really cool with like a lot of genres.
The line is a dot to you.
I just creeped my way through. No, she loves like different genres as long as they have a really good melodic feel for her to work with.
Yeah.
Another favorite of mine, Approach Nirvana did a track with Bridget Matthews.
Yeah, that was huge.
I love that one.
Well, also, Pitch Senses, he's coming out with a huge project called Exodus, in which every single song features a different Figureless vocalist.
Oh wow, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a whole concept album. It's very sci-fi influenced.
We all had to write about like this one storyline that he wrote, and we each had to talk
Wow.
about parts. So
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
the
the only-
tracks.
They're really good. It's all kinds of different EDM. It's like rapping and singing, and it all kind of based on this one story he wrote. It's actually very unique. He's one of the most talented producers I've worked with, and the only thing
He's such a nice guy as well.
and he's super nice, yeah. And the only thing we're waiting for is he is animating an entire like video series.
What?
Yeah, it's taking forever, but he's like, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm hoping he'll do it before EDM isn't cool anymore.
It'll be worth the wait.
It'll
I'm
be
sure.
worth it. Like it's supposed to be like very epic and very cool.
That sounds amazing, definitely.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big.
Go on, Eric. Go
Yeah.
on, son.
And then on top of that, Seasons of Electricity, pretty awesome. They always refer the producers who want to, submit their compilation to work with Figureless. So they've also been, really great in making great collaborations.
Yeah.
They also have an acoustic project, which is really cool too. I want to get our vocalists featured in that as well. Because I know a lot of vocalists, like they love doing the electronic stuff, but acoustic stuff is really nice too.
How do you see Figureless making an impact in the EDM industry? I mean, I would say personally that you already have. Like, you've already made this incredible platform for people to take their music to another level. Like, I certainly know for me personally, it was working with Josh on Psychosis that gave me that push I needed to actually start producing on, like, take it to another level.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Figureless is all about just making that easier. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to go around or ask your friends. It's just like, boom, there you go. It's like, you know that we're going to feature singers who know what the fuck they're doing. So it just makes it that much easier. And it's like, we want to just keep doing that. And, as we keep making more relationships and gaining more producers, it's like, even like really big producers have found Figureless.
Labels
Like,
as well.
Labels as well. And it's like,
Yeah.
we're just building up these relationships, and it's like we don't want to like make a huge menu of vocalists, like a MySpace for vocalists.
No.
We just have the people that we know are good at what they do, have good quality, and have good lyrics to be able to bring something new to EDM each time.
Definitely.
So that's that's just the overall mission.
Well, it's
And-
also because often vocalists in the EDM scene are sort of forgotten about, and they're always sort of mysterious. Nobody knows how to contact them, and so it's to kind of give a place where people can know that they can find a lot of them, and to give them a little more personality to show all of their colors and how they differ and how they work, and as opposed to everybody bending to the will of the producers all the time. Sometimes you can go seek out a vocalist you really like and make something incredible with them too.
Yeah. So, what projects is Figureless working on at the moment?
Besides the Pitch Senses one, the Pitch Senses one is done. We're just waiting on Pitch Senses to finish that. Project-wise, we're doing some stuff with Cody from EDM Spotlight.
Right, yeah.
Can't really see.
Can't really say too much.
It's all a hush-hush.
Working with him a little bit.
I can't say much about this either, but we're doing something really cool with Approach Nirvana as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're also just kind of networking with more labels to be like their go-to place
Yeah.
as well. So, Figureless is ideal. Like,
Watch this space then, lots of big things on the way.
Yes.
You have had a few people leave, few vocalists leave in the past. How hard was that?
It sucks. It's sort of like a breakup to me.
Yeah.
But mostly it's just for reasons of they're sick or they want to work more on their solo projects, which is understandable. That's perfectly fine. Like maybe it just wasn't for them. That's okay.
Yeah, people are free to come and go as they please.
Yeah, we're not
There's
exclusive.
no contracts. There's no nothing. So it's if you want the help, if you need the help, it's there. If not, then good luck on your future endeavors and keep it up, kind of thing.
And if you want to come back to those ones,
Yeah, right. I mean,
Okay.
you know, people sometimes like people just wanna they can't handle how many collaborations they're getting, or like all the producers they've worked with are just assholes.
Yeah.
There's always bad apples, but it's like we try to prevent that. We try to make it enjoyable for each vocalist. We're there to listen. We're there to communicate.
But
And
also don't expect it to be rainbows and unicorns all the time.
yeah, it's not
not.
easy. It's not
Yeah.
easy.
That always happens at the beginning.
And some people don't understand that. Like, they're like, oh my god, why did I get screwed over? I thought you guys were like, you know, cool. And it's like we're not trying to screw you over. Like, you know, we put you there, and it's like if we can't like filter out assholes from finding that website. Like, the technology has not progressed to that point yet.
Although I can't wait till when it does. That will be a happy day.
Yeah, YouTube will be all over that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you very much for joining me, Josh, Adrian and Veela. It has been a pleasure as always. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your time with each other.
all right, thank you, Ed.
Thank you for joining me. Bye.